Baruch atah Asherah, Anat Malach ha'olam, Asher Kadishani b'mitzvotav, V'tzivanu lihi datif l'tzitzit. Good morning. Good morning. Shema Yisrael, Asher Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Vahafta et Anat Elohecha ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך וחיו הדברים האלה אשר נוחים מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך וחיה כי ויחיה אלוהיך אל הארץ אשר נשבע לאבותיך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר למילאת ואורות עצומים אשר לא עשת כערים וזיתים אשר לא נתת והלכת ושבת ישמר לך פן תשכח את יום אשר תשכח מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. Listen, Israel. Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Echad means one. Yahweh and Eloheinu are some very specific words for God. And you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. And these words, which I repeat to you today, teach them to your children and recite them when you wake up and when you go to bed. And shall bind them as a symbol on your hand and let them serve as a sign between your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your houses and on your gates. And when Yahweh Eloheinu brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to assign to you great and flourishing cities that you did not build, houses full of all good things you did not fill, hewn cisterns that you did not hew, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant, and you eat your fill. Take heed that you do not forget Yahweh, who freed you from the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. How are you all doing today? What are you up to on this day of days? You haven't been here in a long time, Jen. I have been here. I have been here. I'm streaming a little bit earlier than I normally stream, so if you're used to catching me at 9, I have usually started streaming closer to 10 or 11. My Instagram link isn't working. That doesn't surprise me. Is my YouTube link working? I'm not very active on Instagram. I might have turned it off. So I don't want to be giving anyone the false impression about where they can actually find me. 7:13 a.m. here. Yeah. So my schedule has shifted, Jen, a little bit, but I do stream every day. Like, I stream every single day. I'm not algorithmically promoted in the same way that I was in the past because I'm not making regular TikTok content. Right? Like, I'm just streaming for 20-30 minutes in the mornings. But so it goes. Right? I wish I was making content for you, but I have another job that takes up all of my attention, and so it goes. Maybe one day I will. Certainly one day, next June. Next June I'll start making films for you again, I promise. I'm glad you like being here, Josh. I like being here too. So today, we're going to begin reading a new translation of The Descent of Inanna. And I have consistently returned to this story during this stream over the course of the last year. We read this translation, I believe, perhaps last May, I think. And then we read another translation of The Descent of Inanna in November. And now it is January, and we just finished reading The Descent of Ishtar, which is a derivative version of The Descent of Inanna that was put together about 1,000 years later, maybe a little less than 1,000 years later, 600 years later, 700 years later, I don't really know. No one actually knows. But now we're going to read this translation of the oldest version of the text that we have, I believe. Oldest complete version of the text. And it starts with a story called The Wooing of Inanna. Hello, Noah. There's a lot we don't know. Did you know that there is more that we don't know than that we do know? Did you know that it shakes out that way? And that it will always shake out that way? And no matter how big you get, the infinite will always be infinitely bigger than you. So, the wooing of Inanna begins like this. The brother was speaking to his little sister. Utu, the sun god, said as he spoke to Inanna, "Young lady, all the ripe flax is enchanting. Inanna, all the grain is resplendent in the fields. So I will reap it for you and carry it to you. There is always need for linen, large or small, so then, Inanna, I will carry all of it to you." Inanna, Queen of Heaven, spoke to Utu, But brother, when you bring me the flax, who will be the one who combs it for me?" And Utu, the sun god, speaking to Inanna, said, "Sister, I will be the one who will comb it." Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, spoke to Utu, "But, Utu, after you have provided it combed, who will be the one who spins it for me?" Utu, the sun god, speaking to Inanna, said, "Inanna, I will be the one who spins it for you." And Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, spoke to Utu, "Brother, after you have provided spun flax, who will be the one who braids it for me?" Utu, the sun god, speaking to Inanna, said, "Sister, I will be the one who braids it for you." Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, spoke to Utu. "But Utu, after you have provided it braided, who will be the one who warps it for me?" Utu, the sun god, speaking to Inanna, said, "Inanna, I will be the one who warps it for you." "Brother, after you've provided it warped, who will be the one who weaves it for me?" "Sister, I will be the one who weaves it for you." "But Utu, after you've provided it woven, who will be the one who bleaches it for me?" "Inanna, I will be the one who bleaches it for you." "But, brother, once you've given a sheet to me, who will then come to my bridal bed?" Oh, we've taken a turn. "Utu, who will lie beside me in my bridal bed?" And Utu, the sun god, speaking to Inanna, said, "Sister, you will share your bread with the groom. It is he who emerged from the fruitful womb. He was conceived upon the holy marriage bed. The shepherd Dumuzi will come to your bed." Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, spoke to Utu and said, "He is not, brother, the man who stole my heart. Rather, it's the farmer who plies the hoe. He is the gentleman who has stolen my heart, for he collects together immense heaps of grain and seasonally brings corn to my storerooms." Utu, the sun god, speaking to Inanna, said, "Sister, take the shepherd. Why would you not? After all, he has delicious cream, sweet milk, and what he touches shines like the heavens. So, Inanna, marry Dumuzi. Why would you not? Having bedecked yourself with rich necklaces, Dumuzi will deliver his richest cream to you. You who are allotted to be the king's guardian. So, Inanna, marry Dumuzi. Would you not? Why would you not?" Inanna, the Queen of Heaven, spoke to Utu. "Why the shepherd? I refuse to marry him, for he has only coarse fabrics, rough wool. Rather, Utu, I wish to marry the farmer, for the farmer will grow flax fit for my robes, and the farmer will grow barley for my fare." Inanna wants to marry her brother Utu. But now, Dumuzi is given a chance to speak. And for that, we will resume another day. Excuse me. So, we will conclude now with Arati. The word Arati means flame in Sanskrit. Here we have our little flame. Jaya Jaya Arati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jaya Arati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Davanita Chora Jaya Jaya Arati Venkantaramana Venkantaramana Sankataharana Sitarama Radhe Shama Jaya Jaya Arati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jaya Jaya Arati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jaya Arati Anjaneya, Anjaneya Hanumanta, Jaya Jaya Arati Dattatreya, Dattatreya Trimutri Vatara, Jaya Jaya Arati Adityaya, Adityaya Bhaskaraya, Jaya Jaya Arati Sanistaraya, Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya, Jaya Jaya Arati Sankaracharya, Sankaracharya Advaita Gurave, Jaya Jaya Arati Sadgurunatha, Sadgurunatha Shivananda, Jaya Jaya Arati Vishnu Devananda, Vishnu Devananda, Vishnu Devananda, Jaya Jaya Arati Agastya Munaye, Agastya Munaye, Shriyama Priyaye, Jaya Jaya Arati Ayapa Samine, Ayapa Samine, Dharma Shastave, Jaya Jaya Arati Jesus Grave, Moses Grave, Buddha Grave, Jaya Jaya Arati Muhammad Grave, Guru Nanak Grave, Samastya Gurubho Namaha, Jaya Jaya Arati Venugopala. Happy 2023, Kate. Natatrasuyobati Natandrakaratam Nima Vidyobati Kutoyamagni Twameva Bantamandi Sarvam Tasya Basya Samita Vivanti Om Yange Kayamane Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmate Siddhika Vervi Hiyaha Namastitam Namo Namaha. Twameva Mata Chapita Twameva Twameva Bandusha Saka Twameva Twameva Vidya Dravinam Twameva Twameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Buddhyatmanava Prakrite Sabhavad Karomi Adyad Sakalam Parasmahi Narayana Iti Sarmar Payami Sarvadamambra Vichaya Mamekam Savanambraja Amsva Sarvapapayo Mokshaya Mima Sucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these, I dedicate to you. No, Chris, it's not Hebrew, it's Sanskrit. But we will speak in Hebrew very soon. I haven't seen you in so long, Robert. How are you? So we are going to say one more Hebrew prayer, Chris. It's called the Mourner's Kaddish. The word Kaddish in Hebrew means prayer. Holy, sacred. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Holy, holy, holy. When the Babylonians were at the walls of Jerusalem, ready to attack, Isaiah had a vivid hallucination of angels flanking the throne of God, covering his image, chanting, Holy, holy, holy. Hi, Teresia. How are you? So nice to see you. How have you been? I'm really happy you're here. So, I was about to conclude the live with one final prayer. Right? Kaddish. That's what I've been saying. It's funny the way that you have to talk on these streams. You have to remind everyone what you said 120 seconds ago, because everyone is different. But yes, Kaddish means prayer. There's this goddess. Her name is Kadish, right? This is an old Egyptian image of her. Right? You can see she rides a lion and she carries snakes and flowers and she arouses Egyptian gods to her left and right. She's really great. Right? And long before the Hebrew language existed, right, before there was a Hebrew word Kaddish, which meant prayer, there was this Canaanite god named Kadish. And she was sexy and full of death. um, and when I say Kaddish, I think of that, right? And I think of how somehow I acquired this name, Kadish, right? Because somehow my partner acquired that name, Kadish. Somehow her father had it, and back, 4,000 years, somebody had that name. Somebody lived in Kaddish, right? A city in Syria, or a city in southern Judah, or a region in southern Judah. You know, the word, it just floats. But lots of associations. But the main association with the word Kaddish today is grief, mourning, right? The mourner's Kaddish. So the way that this prayer is said today is usually in response to death, right? We say Kaddish over the dead. But it's more than that, right? Like, I say Kaddish every day because life is suffering, right? Because there's grief in the world. And by saying these words, which actually, if you translate them into English, have nothing to do with grief, but by saying these words, we acknowledge our grief publicly, right? Together. Because I think it is an emotion that does need to be seen in order to be digested. So we grieve together and remind ourselves of all of the pain that exists in our lives, but that it is still here, right? We are still here. We are here together, and it's okay. So that's why I say Kaddish. So for the last, 2,500 years, give or take, my ancestors have said these words in response to death. Yidgadal v'yidgadash Shema Vahafta. B'yama divrachute v'yamlich malchute b'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayedi kol beit Yisrael b'gala misman kari v'yimru. Amen. Yehi Shema Vahafta meva'arach li'alam omei omaya yitbrach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yirmam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shema dekudesha b'richu leila min kol brichata v'shirata tush brichata v'nechemata d'amiran b'yama v'yimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'yochol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Ose Shalom B'yirmav. Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu V'yochol Yisrael V'yimru. Amen. Ose Shalom B'yirmav. Huya Ase Shalom Aleinu V'yalechol Yisrael V'yimru. V'yimru. Amen. So that's Kaddish. Thanks for those finger hearts, Deverja. Gracie, I so appreciate voice compliments. Really, truly. It took so much work to be able to sound like this. So thank you. Yeah, so that's it for today. But I will be here again tomorrow to say these words again. Show this image once again. I just love this image. It's so good, right? Sexy warrior goddess. In any case, it's time for me to go. But I hope you have a really lovely day. If you care to, you can check out the links in my bio. You can support this stream by leaving a one-time tip or subscribing on TikTok or leaving a gift or going on Patreon. There's 10,000 ways to do it, and I hate shilling. But such is this platform. But I love that it connects me to all of you. So I'll be here again tomorrow, and I hope you will too. Okay, farewell.